Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. As per usual, Capcom has released a couple of more weapon showcases, and I'm going to be reacting to them and analyzing them to the best of my ability. Today's videos were the longsword and the lance, and I figured we'd get started with the longsword so that I can then tell you during the lance video how many more things the longsword got that the lance didn't get, because that's pretty much how these things go when it comes to Monster Hunter in the latest two entries. Basically, the longsword gets everything and everybody else gets absolutely nothing. On a more serious note, before we start this video, I don't know why I kind of feel like I have to say this, but I feel like I do. I hold no ill will towards people who play longsword, because every single time that I have any criticism that I make towards longsword, people seem to take it as a personal offense. One of my best friends plays longsword, and I love playing the game with him, so keep those things in mind. Anyway, let's see what's in store for the longsword in Sunbreak, shall we? Okay, this is funny because they're giving the longsword something that it doesn't really have at this point, and that is like one really big hit. The really big hit, I believe, again, I'm not a longsword main, I will play the weapon, and I have knowledge of the weapon. But one of the things that the longsword does not have is a really meaty, like, big hit. Now, is that a combo that you get to do with the sacred sheath, or is it just like one big hit? That's what I need to pay a little bit more attention to. I'm extremely sleep deprived, so I might have missed it, so bear with me here. So this is Silkbind, Sakura Slash. I thought they were going to... Oh yeah, he does the sacred thing at the end, right? You can charge it. It's still multi-hit, so it's probably not a big, massive hit. The big, massive hit that the longsword can currently do is obviously Serene Pose, which is the 2 wire bug counter. It's a pretty meaty hit. But it looks like the longsword is getting some kind of a charged ability. Now, this is interesting because I initially expected the longsword to get something Omega powerful. I don't think that's the case here in this video. Like, I've seen some reactions in social media where people were going like, oh my god, poor gun lance and charge blade mains, and I'm looking at what the longsword is getting here, and again, we'll have to wait until the game actually comes out, but what I'm looking at does not seem super powerful, because you might look, for instance, at Harvest Moon, which is the new ability that the longsword is getting, and it says landing counters within the ring will add additional hits. And it's like, well, yeah, that's fine. Some people might think, oh my god, it's so broken because now it's going to add counters on top of counters and more hits on the counters. Yeah, but there's a limit. You have to be inside the ring. I don't really see this as a big deal. A lot of monsters can get outside of rings and you have to kind of like chase them down. So it all depends on how long does it take to reform this kind of like ring that you get to do with the longsword. How much more damage you're going to be dealing with those counters. So for all I know, it could be completely busted, but they're definitely adding some form of limitations into the weapon. And that's kind of like the overall vibe that I get from this video, which is weird. Like, I'm gonna be real, I expected to basically watch the video and be like, oh my god, it's going to be so much more broken. Doesn't feel like that at all, because like, again, like I said, Harvest Moon limits your ability to just chase down a monster and ultra kill him, as you can already do with longsword, because, you know, if you want to land your additional counters, you have to do so inside the ring. You know, I'm going to have to see this in motion in the actual game itself to see how much damage this thing adds. It could be broken, but at first glance, I don't think it actually will be. There's like 2 or 3 more hits there. I don't think it's a big deal. Now, the thing that I'm very curious about is that Sacred Slash, but again, I'm not overly concerned about the Sacred Slash because the sheathing animation is so incredibly long. Like, look at that. Here it comes, the Sacred Sheath. Look at how long that takes, right? And then after you do that, you still have to charge it, because, like, look here. I mean, we're going to be reading these skills in just a second. I mean, this thing's got to deal a ton of damage. That's the main concern that I have, because, like, the skill itself does not seem overpowered because of the balancing act that is there between you actually needing to charge it in order to get, like, a megaton of damage. But it's all going to be about how much damage is it going to deal, because imagine if, okay, so we let you do this, and here's 2,000 damage. Then I'll be like, well, that's not very balanced now, is it? But I think that a lot of people are probably going to struggle a little bit to use this unless there's some kind of a counter aspect to it. I need to look at the website to really get a better idea of what this is. So let's take a look here. Sacred Sheath Combo. A slow, methodical movement that can be executed following an attack. So you need to follow an attack. You can't just do it, which is the way that longsword works anyway. In order for you to do Special Sheath, you need to follow. Oh, and you lose... Wait, you lose Special Sheath. You lose Special Sheath when you do this, right? Because from what I could tell... Yeah, you lose Special Sheath. Oh, because, like, for those who don't know, Special Sheath is the thing that allows the longsword to basically counter nonstop. I wonder how much quick sheathing there is in this video. Because, like, I wonder how much you can reduce the animation of Sacred Sheath with Quick Sheath. That's a good question. That could potentially be busted. I don't know. But let's see what we got here. So a slow, methodical movement that can be executed following an attack. Upon sheathing your weapon, you can harness the increased spirit to unleash a follow-up slash. The power of the slash increases according to the level of the spirit gauge. If you are attacked before you've finished with the sheath, it will consume 1 level of spirit gauge and the move will be canceled. Oh, damn! There's actually a downside? Because let me tell you, there ain't no downsides to Spirit, Yai Spirit Slash right now. There's no downsides to it. You don't lose gauge. You don't lose nothing. You're just like, hey, you know, didn't work out. So with the Sacred Sheath, you will lose gauge. All right, again, this all depends on just how much damage is coming out of this attack and how much can you shorten that sheathing animation by using Quick Sheath. Because if you can shorten that animation significantly, this is going to be completely busted. If, however, you cannot, and it still takes you a significant amount of time to sheath the weapon, then, you know, it could be balanced. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out when we get to the actual game. But I would be surprised if it's not just like a mega net positive. I'll be real. Like, look, this is just what I've come to expect. I'll be surprised if it's not a massive net positive. Now, let's look here. Harvest Moon, a move that casts out an Iron Silk ring that narrows your range of attack, but boosts spirit so you can go on the offensive. Wait a minute. Boosts spirit. Within the ring, your spirit gauge won't... Now, why did I think that they were going to balance Harvest Moon? Your spirit gauge won't deplete. Actual infinite gauge? Here I was being like, oh no, they're going to balance it. It's going to be fine, you know, because it's a limited area. You don't lose spirit gauge. Well, all right then. Can I get a circle where I don't spend shells as well? Is that a thing that I can have? Can I get a circle where it's like, you don't lose shells when you shoot inside this circle? Imagine me just going like, Gunlance goes, brr, 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 brr. You don't lose shells, you just don't lose spirit gauge. Seems reasonable. Yeah, guys, never mind. Never mind all those things I said at the start of the video about, oh no, they're going to balance, it's going to be fine. It's like, it's not, is it? It's just going to continue being as broken as it is right now, and it is what it is. Anyway, that's the longsword for you. Longsword mains rejoice. Your weapon's going to remain the supreme melee weapon in Sunbreak, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit it up with a like. If you did not enjoy the video, hit it up with dislike. Feedback is important. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.